country-specific comparison that we made. Again, individual for each country separately, a country against one country against another country. And the same holds true for Russia. Non-renewables energy consumption is higher than the renewables energy source. And China tops the list. Let's do some bit of analysis on China and United States. See, what do we see? In case of United States, the nuclear electricity is the highest. It's the highest for United States. And when we speak of the non-renewables, yes, overall consumption is higher for China. But when we speak of individual consumption, United States is the highest in fossil fuels and also in the renewables energy. So we can write it not China, it's US. US tops the list for both renewables, non-renewables energy. So this is how you'll prepare a comparison. I'm going to save this slide. And then you can go further. You can take, like, out here in this, in the countries that we have, the list that we have, you can identify different countries and you can compare only those countries. So typically, if you want, if you take country name, we can add a filter here. That is not something I've picked up, but that's okay. I click here in the filters, you can see that we have the country name. So I'm selecting here. This is basic filtering. Okay, if I want, I can go to advanced filtering also out here. I can also select top N. So top N. So when I say show items, top what? Top 10 countries. Okay. By value? Yes, by value. And oops, what's going wrong here? Add data fields here. So when I speak of data fields here, well, which field do you want to add? Let us select nuclear energy. And I click apply filter. So these are the top 10 countries that we see here in terms of nuclear energy consumption. Again, we are seeing other sources also, but we have applied the filter for nuclear electricity. Okay, so out here you can see that when we speak of, when you apply for it, it will appear like this in your, so when you apply a filter, that is how your the report will change or modulate. Let's come back here. Now again, you can see here that once I change the page number here, the filters will disappear because the filters that I had applied here, they are for the filters that are applied here, they are applicable for the non-renewables page. If I select on renewables, okay, out on renewables, you will not see any of those filters applied. Again, so these are the features that you'll need to learn and understand. Fine, let us do one thing. I'll remove the filters here. Let's come back here. I'll remove the filter here. Okay, you can lock also this filter so that no one can make any changes here. If you click on this little lock that you see here, you can lock the filter as well. Fine, so this is what we have. That apart, what more can we do? Let us take a third page. Now let us select limited few countries for which we'll perform the analysis of fuel consumption. Or instead of that, let us take another kind of project. Let us select GDP. We'll take the country names also, GDP, population, and the country name. GDP wise and in terms of population, US is the highest, followed by China, followed by Japan, India, and so on. wait, I've not applied any filters or anything specific. So we'll come to that a little later. But then if you come back here on creating a report, typically, this is how your report should appear or look like. So we're having a GDP and population on the y-axis, and we're having the country name on the x-axis. Obviously, these are the summation values that you're seeing here. See, for GDP, it's what, 664 and 10, 15 zeros. The point is, it is the richest country in the world, of course. Its GDP is supposed to be the highest. Then it's followed by China, and then by Japan, and India comes at rank number 4, followed by Germany, UK, France, Italy. So India is not doing as badly as we see here. Of course, there is a population figure also out here that is probably adding to it. But okay, anyway, so this is one thing. Now, what can we add here? Oh, this is one kind of visualization that I've picked for you all. Let us do one thing. I'll close this page. I don't want this to save this page. Let us select another data. Okay, so I'm saving this and I'll close this file. Still have decent amount of time. I'm saving this file. I'm closing this session. Okay, I'll open a fresh session for Power BI in which I'll import a different data set, and then we go forward on that. I intend to create a line graph. So let's see how that will unfold. So I'm closing this session. I'm clicking on Power BI desktop again. We opened a fresh session. We have the screen, the home screen ready for it. And I want to import the data. Now let's see which of these is in Excel format. We have the banking data. Most of this. Okay, let's work on Bitcoins. But these are, again, these are also in CSV format. Yes, I think this is an interesting data. Oh, I'm importing the data. Let's click on File, Get Data, or let's click Import. No, we cannot import from anything. You have to click on Get Data. The file format is in TXT or CSV format, so I select it. I'll go on the data sets that I have maintained. Bits, that's for the Bitcoins. Clicking Open here. Another file that I have selected for another example. And so we see here, these are the first 200 rows. Let's select based on the entire data set. These are the prices, okay, token one, and these are like, oh, that's quite a quantity of price data that we have. Never mind. So what is a file type? It's a comma. So particularly it's a CSV file format as we see it. And the file origin is in this with Western European Windows format or whatever. Okay, so let's cancel this. Let's not waste your time or my time. Let's click on Get Data. I click on text or CSV file. Bits, and I click Open. So I click on Load. Okay, there is one error. So let's view the error. This is interesting. There could be some missing data or some error in the apply changes. Okay, let's click on apply changes and see what comes. Yeah, okay, they have resolved it. No worries, great. What do we see here? These are the prices. Let's bring them out here. That's O byte, O byte 2. I'm taking substratum, I'm taking syntropy, and I'm taking token. Now, what is this token underscore 1? Well, these are the different values. So I'll come to that a little later. I have calculated the returns data. So that is how it will show up. Let's click on date as well. Right. So, and let us select line chart. Should it show up? Yes, we have a line chart here today. Now the difference here is this is a very big file, not substratum. O byte. Yeah, okay. The O byte is gone. We'll retain token. So that is how your line chart will appear on your Power BI. So now what do we see here? Now we are seeing here on the x-axis, we have the year. And on the y-axis, we have the price data, typically for syntropy, substratum, and token. So these are the three Bitcoin prices or Bitcoin values that we have taken on the y-axis. On the x-axis, that is the years. So what do we see here? When you bring it here, these are the summation values, okay, for each year, 2019, 2020, 2021, and then we see here 2022 for some parts. This is how you'll be plotting and drawing your line graphs for your time series data. So this is when I speak of time series data, you can see here, let's go on the table format. Okay, let's come to that. Come back to this a little later. Out here, when we plot these details, not all of them, let's select Obite, substratum, syntropy, and token, the dates. That is for Obite. Okay, let's deselect it. This is how you plot your line graph, of course. And out here, we can add, we have added the filters. If you want, you can make the changes here. You can provide advanced filtering, basic filtering for the date or the day type. Again, you can do the same for quarter, year, month type also. Out here, these are the Bitcoins that we have selected. Their data is also reflected over here. So if you want, you can take the token values, you can apply the filter over here. Again, if you want, you can also apply the filters on syntropy and substratum also. On the x-axis out here, we can see on the visualizations, of course, out here in visualizations. On x-axis, you see the different periods that are shown over here. Supposedly, if I deselect or if I close year, this will change. Quarter will change, month will change, and the daily price data will appear somewhat like this.